Let's talk about the elements of graphic design. As I mentioned, here are the basic elements of design. You can think of them as the basic building blocks of any composition. Let's go through each one so you have a basic understanding of them. The first and most basic element of design is the line. It's often the starting point for all artistic expression. The line is one of the most essential elements of design. In design, a line is any two connected points. It always has more length than thickness and can be unbroken, broken, or implied. A line can be vertical, diagonal, horizontal, or even curved. It can be any width, size, shape, position, direction, interval, or density. A line creates a division of hierarchy within your design, helping direct the user's eye towards specific information or a specific focal point. Points create lines and lines create shapes. A line can have other elements like color, texture, and movement applied to it. Though basic in appearance, lines can control the viewer's thoughts and emotions and lead a viewer's eye through the space. Lines can also create subliminal languages in your design. A diagonal line, for example, suggests movement. A straight line is more orderly and clean. In digital design, the line is commonly used to contain or break areas apart visually. For example, a navigation bar on a website could have a line to divide itself from the rest of the content. The second element of design is shape. A shape is the result of enclosed lines that form a boundary. Shapes are two-dimensional and can be described as geometric, organic, and abstract. Geometric shapes have structure and are often mathematical and precise, like squares, circles, or triangles. Shapes can add a lot of emphasis to a layout. Organic shapes lack well-defined edges and often feel natural and smooth. Finally, we have abstract shapes. These are a minimalistic representation of reality. For instance, a stick figure of a person is an abstract shape. Form pertains to the way a shape or physical configuration occupies space. Instead of creating form through three-dimensional physical shape, designers create the appearance of form on a flat surface by using light and shadow, the appearance of the object's contours, negative space, and the surrounding objects around the subject matter. Forms are three-dimensional, and there are two types: geometric, which are man-made, and natural, which are organic. A digital or physical form can be measured by height, width, and depth. A form can be created by combining shapes, and it can be enhanced by color or texture. Depending on their usage, they can also be ornate or utilitarian. Texture is one of the elements of design that is used to represent how an object appears or feels. Texture is the way a surface feels, or the way it's perceived to feel. It has the power to attract or detract the viewer's eyes and can be applied to lines, shapes, and forms. Tactile texture is a physical sense of touch, whether it's rough, smooth, or ribbed. Visual texture, on the other hand, refers to the imagined feel of the illustrated texture, which can create more visual interest and a heightened sensory experience. In digital design, there are currently no touch screens that emulate tactile textures yet, so we will stick to the visual textures to be able to implement this sort of feeling into our designs. Color is another powerful element of design. It can stand alone, act as a background, or highlight other elements in your design. Color is also a fantastic tool for creating and establishing a mood for your brand. For example, red typically signifies love, strength, power, and desire. Green typically signifies tranquility, good luck, and health. As you create your color palette, it's important to understand the color properties at play. This will help you maximize the power of this principle of design. Color contains multiple characteristics. These are hue, which is the name of a color in its purest form. This would be something like blue, magenta, green. Those are all pure colors. Value refers to the lightness or darkness of a color. Color can be tinted by adding white or shaded by adding a layer of black. Shade is the addition of black to a hue in order to make a darker version, while tint is the addition of white to a color to make a lighter version. Finally, we have saturation, which refers to the intensity or purity of the color. A specific hue can have a vibrant or dull saturation, and anything in between. A specific color is most intense when it is not mixed with white or black. In design, there are two color systems, RGB and CMYK. RGB is a system dedicated to digital design. This is an additive system, and it stands for red, green, and blue. The colors are produced by adding primary colors together to create various combinations. RGB uses white as a combination of all primary colors and black as the absence of light. This mode should be used for designs that will be only used on a screen. Designers use the RGB color model for any type of media that transmits light, such as computer screens. RGB is ideal for digital media designs because these mediums emit color such as red, green, or blue light. If you want to output your design as a printed piece, then you need to use CMYK. This subtractive system stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. CMYK reduces the light that would be reflected on a white background to create color. CMYK uses white as the natural color of the print background and black as a combination of colored inks. It's extremely important to start a file using the right color system. Converting colors between the systems can result in muted or inaccurate colors. Space refers to the area above, below, around, or behind an object. It can be positive or negative. Positive space refers to the subject or areas of interest, such as a person's face or furniture in a room. Negative or white space, on the other hand, refers to the background area that surrounds the subject or areas of interest. Notice here how by altering the space, the image is seen differently and conveys a different message. When used correctly, negative space plays a pivotal role in the success of your design. It has the ability to enhance readability. A larger white space ensures that your text doesn't have to compete with other design elements. It can also simplify your design. White space will break your design into chunks so that you don't have to overwhelm your reader's eye. It will also complete an image. Humans naturally see closed shapes. Therefore, when a shape or an element is incomplete, the white space can help your reader unconsciously fill the gaps. It also adds a sense of luxury. By using space, you can create a sense of sophistication into your designs. Typography is arguably the single most important part of graphic, web, and user interface designs. Your text and how it looks isn't just about conveying a message, it can also convey a mood. Are you a serious online newspaper or a playful blog? Typography can set the tone. For example, a serif font like Times New Roman tends to evoke a more traditional and serious feeling, while a sans serif font like Open Sans reads as more modern. In addition to evoking mood and feeling, typography can create visual hierarchy in your design. It can show people where to look and what things on the screen are most important, giving users a sense of how to read the material from beginning to end. Larger font sizes, for example, catch the user's eye first and signify a focal point on your page. When a smaller font is beneath it, the reader instinctively knows that it is a subsection and will support the heading and perhaps provide more context or more information. These smaller details of your font, including weight, height, and size, are all important as you consider typography in your designs. Which fonts should you choose? There's really no simple answer to this, but a good rule of thumb for using and choosing fonts is to stick to 2 or less typefaces per design. When it comes to fonts, restraint is a good thing. Always remember, less is more. You can achieve interest by choosing two contrasting typefaces. For example, on a website, you might use a script or grungy font for your headlines and contrast them with a sans serif font for your body text. Understanding the elements of design will give you a leg up when you begin to lay out and try to decide the best way to convey your messages visually.